Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to tell you about the 2 seed orders that I have placed this summer. If you don't know, summer is a great time to buy seeds because every seed company is trying to sell the inventory for this year so they can bring in new seed inventory for the next year. And this is when I get all the deals. So I got some great deals from Botanical Interest. It's one of the seed companies I buy from every year. Botanical Interest had a Memorial Day sale, and I got all of these seed packs for like $1.50 or less each. And it's hard to beat that and still get a good variety. So I'll show you what I got. For some fun and some flowers, I got some California Giant Blend zinnias. These are tall, these have big blooms, and I have never grown these before, but I'm having such good success with my other zinnias this year that I have regrouped and decided, yes, I'm gonna keep trying zinnias. I was so traumatized last year, almost all of my zinnias got powdery mildew right out of the gate. So I just thought, forget zinnias, I can't grow them here without them getting sick. I don't want the powdery mildew to transfer to my other plants like my cucumbers. But this year's giving me hope because it's the middle of July and I still have healthy zinnias. Fingers crossed. I'll show you some of my zinnias right now. This bouquet I keep on this table here. These are the State Fair zinnias. I think it's one of those brands you can just get at Lowe's. It's honestly my favorite one, and I'm hoping this is even better than these beautiful guys. I did get some more flowers. I got a couple sunflower varieties. I got more of these Elves Blend sunflowers from Botanical Interest. I have purchased these once before. And I saved a lot of different sunflower seeds last year, but I don't think I saved any Elves Blend. Or if I did, I don't know where they are. So for $1.30, I have a fresh pack. I've got some planted out already. They're little seedlings out in my container garden and in one of my raised beds. So very excited to have these. The reason I like this is because, as the name implies, they're very petite. It says 16 to 24 inches tall. And in my garden, I like to have a lot of short flowers so I don't cast shadows on my actual vegetables and herbs. So short little sunflower and another shorter sunflower. This is a dwarf variety, Teddy Bear Dwarf. I have grown a similar type of sunflower with these really fluffy faces. See how the petals are it's almost all petals. I've grown a big version of this, it's 5 feet tall, and it's blooming right now. I have one going in my full sun bed, gorgeous. But if this is the little version, and so I'm really excited, and also because it is a multi-branching plant. So I'll get lots of flowers off of one plant. And these little cuties can get to be 24 to 36 inches tall as well. So if you are trying to squeeze a lot in your space, the little sunflowers are worth your time. While we're on the note of flowers, I did get these kinds of pansies called Got the Blues. I have started pansies and violas in the fall, and they overwinter and you get blooms in the winter time. So I may do that, but I just wanted to get these because they are on sale, and if I don't do it this year, the seed will be good for next year. My cat is present. She's waiting for her dinner. So that's that noise you hear. I did get some nasturtiums that I've never had before, the butterscotch nasturtiums, these little yellow and orange. You cannot beat nasturtiums, especially if you can get them in some shade or grow them in the cooler part of the year, but not the freezing part of the year. You can get such easy, maintenance-free flowers. So this is a big pack of nasturtiums, and the pack here says $6.29 for this pack in US dollars. I didn't pay more than $2 for this because of the sale. It was really affordable. I'm looking here, and I think that's the end of my flowers from Botanical Interest, but I got a ton of veggies. First things, I got a chocolate cherry tomato. I have been waiting to catch this on sale. I've almost bought it at the garden center a couple of times. They sell Botanical Interest seeds in my local garden center. But I just wanted to buy it on sale for some reason because I know I can get Botanical Interest at a really affordable price if I just wait. Sure enough, finally got it on sale. You only get 20 seeds per pack for this variety. And I started 2 of them. 1 germinated. I had them outside. It was not like I was babying them, so I don't think the germination rate's bad. I just put them through a lot out there in the June heat. And I transplanted the one that did make it into my garden bed, and right away it just started looking weird. Like the leaves were really wispy, and I didn't look to see if the variety has these like wispiness to the leaves, so I kind of thought maybe it's sick, maybe it's getting attacked by some pests. It was just not a healthy seedling. So July is like the hardest month for seedlings outside in Georgia where I live. So I just ripped it out, and I was like, you know what? We'll try it next year in the spring and give it a proper onboarding, an easier start in April where it's out in the garden and everything is pleasant and there are no pests. So we'll see next year how the chocolate cherry tomato is. If you've tried that, I would love to hear what you think of the flavor. I invested, and I'm going to gather them all, in 4 more packs of beet seeds. My spring beets this year was a fail overall. You might know if you've watched my garden tours, I had 2 patches of beets. And frankly, I think I was not giving them enough nutrition, and it took me a while to be able to address it. So I should have just been fertilizing more aggressively sooner. But I've got more seeds, so we're going to try again, maybe in the fall, but definitely in the spring. Early Wonder beets. This is just a classic, easy to find variety. And I like having beets that have different days to maturity. So these are an early variety. They're only 48 days from seed to beet in ideal conditions. And to show you a whole spectrum, I'm looking at these other 3 beets, and they are different days, all of them. The Chioggia beet is like a 55-day variety. It's got those cool little stripes in the middle. I have had good success with these in the past. And then a 60-day variety, Detroit Dark Red. I have had good success growing these in the past. It's a classic red beet. And then to shake it up, Touchstone Gold. This is like challenge level for beets because it is 85 to 90 days. And I did get a few of these in my spring crop, but they were like little marble-sized beets. And it was just getting so hot, and I wanted to use the space for other things. And so I don't have any beets in the garden right now. But the ones that I tasted that I grew from this were nice and sweet and a definite different flavor. Not as earthy as some of these red ones that I've showed you. I don't mind the earthy flavor of beets, but if you do mind the earthy flavor of beets, but you want to like beets, the yellow and the white varieties are going to be less earthy, more sweet. So thinking about the fall and the spring, I have some lettuce. Botanical Interest always gives you a free seed pack, and right now they're doing their lettuce mesclun mix. That's nice to have, just free lettuce. But I bought 2 types, one of which was on my wish list. It was a variety that I've been wanting to get, red sales. So these red lettuces are supposed to be pretty good with handling cold temperatures. And this variety also says that it is very heat tolerant. So I'm just gonna try it in the fall and the spring and see what we think. And then the Trichus lettuce is another one I've tried. It's like a little romaine type, and it says it's disease resistant to a few different things. And with romaines, they might be better for the heat, but with it being red, it might have a little bit of advantage in the cold. We'll just see. But I thought, yeah, I was running low on my red lettuce seeds, so now I have some to take place of what I had. I'm trying an experiment. And I've got it planted out, so I can report that so far, so good. This is a very expensive type of basil. It is called Everleaf Emerald Towers. So this was on the sale. The pack says $4.29 US for 20 seeds. So I've grown enough basil that I was like, I can handle this, I can do this. I started 4. All 4 germinated outside. Like I put them in a little cup outside and just kept them watered in June. got them to germinate, and I've transplanted them into my raised beds already. And the whole point of this experiment is this type of fancy basil is supposed to be resistant to bolting. That is why they call it everleaf, because it is supposed to be prolific in leaf growth with deep glossy green leaves and form an herbal tower. All of my Genovese basil from the spring has bolted, so I have another succession of Genovese basil growing out in the garden too. But now I've got the fancy bolt resistant basil in the mix as well. So it says this cultivar holds off flower production for up to 12 weeks longer than other types of basil, so you don't have to worry about pinching off the flowers. And I'm out there almost every day in the garden, and I could not stay on top of the flowers. I've made like 5 batches of pesto. I use basil at least twice a week in recipes, but I really wanted a more heat tolerant basil. And another thing I want to try someday, but Botanical Interest I don't think had it, what is a basil that's resistant to disease. So I know Johnny's Seeds has a ton of different disease-resistant basil options, and someday I think I'll invest in that. But for this being half price or something crazy on sale, I was like, let's start with this variety. I'm so excited. They're just getting big enough that I could start harvesting from them, but from like rubbing the leaves, they smell just as good as my Genovese basil. So I think the flavor is going to be similar, but I don't know. Okay, I went a little off the tracks. These are some purchases. These last 2 packs from Botanical Interest are seeds that I have wanted for a while, and it just kind of was like, okay, for $1.20, I'll do it. I got the Chinese broccoli. This is something I've seen in different seed catalogs and just can never justify paying $3, $4 for a pack when I don't even know if they'll grow well here. I know of one YouTuber who grows this, and she wasn't loving it, the Grounded Haven Homestead. Fabulous channel. I love seeing what she grows because her climate is similar to mine, and she's really a talented gardener. I think it was her who was saying that she's had some disappointments with growing this, but I had already put the order in, and I've wanted to try it. But if you were wondering, Chinese broccoli, it's described as it makes florets that are similar to broccoli, while the leaves and the stalks have more flavor to them than I suppose a broccoli would typically. And I love eating the stems on broccoli. I've eaten the leaves of broccoli, so I know that would be fine with me. I think it's just a matter of timing it right so I actually get like what's pictured and not have it go to seed. So that'll be fun to try sometime. And then finally, jade bush beans. This was another one I was like, oh, well, it's on sale. And I will tell you, I ordered the normal size pack, and for the same price as the normal size pack, they just sent me the big boy. So this is a big pack. It says 50 grams of seeds. I don't know how many seeds are in here, but it's a lot of jade bush beans. And if you follow the Beginner's Gardener podcast, Acre Homestead, a ton of people like this variety. And I've purchased it before, but my roly-polies are so aggressive. They eat all my bush beans before they really even get out of the dirt. So the only reason I bought it is because it was so cheap. And then I got surprised with like a double pack size. So I may do a round of bush beans in another month or so, and this would be the variety that I would try. A lot of people really like it and have success with it. So I want to show you my other seed order, but it's not as fun because I don't have the packs with me yet. And who knows when I'll get them, just because I ordered from In My Gardener, and they're a very, very small company. So sometimes it does take a little while for the orders to get out, especially when they just have a sale and they get a huge influx of orders. So I ordered in there just kind of, I guess it was like almost a 4th of July day sale. It was kind of spontaneous. In My Gardener just put a Facebook post up and was like, hey, we're having a 50% off sale tomorrow. at 10 a.m. And I was like, okay, I will be there. So I made sure to be up and ready. And at 10 a.m. I put in my order. And even still, some packs were selling out before I could like finish my cart. So here's what I was able to get in that amazing sale. If you know, In My Gardener, the company sells seeds for $2 a pack, and 50% off means every pack was just $1. So I got a variety called Evening Sunflowers, which I've been eyeing for a while, and when they're $1 for the pack, problem solved. They're like a red, orange, yellow, multicolored type of sunflower that is really fall friendly. When you think about fall, you think about those warm red colors. And so this would be a fun sunflower to have. It's not the standard yellow. I ordered more California Wonder Bell pepper seeds. I know this year a lot of people have had trouble with getting the right kind of pepper. There's something called Peppergate happening, and a lot of people thought they bought jalapenos and it ended up being banana peppers or whatever happened, but I've never had that issue from In My Gardener, so I'm sure these will be fine. They're bell peppers, and they're the kind of bell pepper I've grown every single year, 4 years now. And this year my seeds were definitely showing some age because I had such poor germination on my California Wonder Bell pepper seeds. So I will use up the pack that I have, but I'm going to have these on standby because I want to grow these again next year and not miss out. And California Wonder Bell peppers can be about the size of a grocery store bell pepper, I will say. And if you wait long enough, they'll turn red and they'll be a sweet red pepper. I did buy another kind of beet. I'm just now thinking about that. That makes 5 packs of beets. I am someone who just wants to be a beet grower, and I want to pickle beets because I know I like that. So someday I'm going to be pickling beets, and we're getting there. But I ordered the Cylindra beets because of Grounded Haven Homestead here on YouTube. I'll have to link her channel below. She doesn't know who I am, but you know. She was talking about Cylindra beets in a harvest video recently, and I had decided right then and there, well, gotta try that variety because she had great success with them. And then they were on sale for $1, so we're gonna try Cylindra beets. I got a couple packs of dragon tongue bush beans from In My Gardener as well. If you don't know what those are, you need to Google dragon tongue bush beans to see a picture. It is like a very pale colored bean with purple stripes. And I've had good success with dragon tongue bush beans. They're just fun to look at, you know, who doesn't want to go harvest or a striped bean? It's just fun. I ordered 4 packs of edamame. The particular variety is Shuro Fumi. And the reason I went all in on the edamame is because it grows so well here in the hot South. I was looking at my garden notes from last year, and it was like early to mid-July when I threw edamame in the garden last year, and they took off. It was, you know, the worst time of the year to be a seedling, but edamame did not care. And this year I put some in about a month ago, or maybe 45 days ago, and they are blooming. I accidentally have almost a whole bed of edamame. And if you're wondering, it's also called soybeans. A lot of people love to eat soybeans. And, you know, I'm a dietitian, so I'm not worried about the soy. I know people kind of get sketched out with estrogen and soy, and, you know, it's not a concern. You can absolutely have soy in your diet, and, you know, especially as women, and not have any health concerns from that. It's a really healthy food to eat. It has a lot of protein. So my husband and I really liked last year just throwing a bunch of edamame pods in a steamer basket, steaming it up, throwing some salt on it, and then you get to shell it and eat it, which, you know, restaurants will sell that to you for like $10 as an appetizer. So it is fun to just grow it yourself. That's my soapbox on edamame. I also got a couple kinds of tomatoes. So I've got 3 new tomato varieties already. I was just feeling like, I don't know, adventurous. I got purple bumblebee tomatoes, which are a cherry tomato. I really don't know a lot about them. I've heard people mention purple bumblebee. Probably Roots and Refuge YouTube channel has talked about it. That's probably where I've heard of them. But for $1, and I've been wanting to expand my cherry tomato collection. I tried Isis Candy last year, type of cherry tomato that's got some striping to it, and it just wasn't a great tomato for my area. So I wanted to try some new ones. I need something like, I've got Super Sweet 100 and Sun Golds, fabulous, but I wanted some like purpley colored. I want some less sweet, more acidic. Maybe someday I'll get some yellow. I just want to have like a colorful bowl of cherry tomatoes. Then I got Cherokee Purple, which, everyone loves. I've actually never had Cherokee Purple, but it is a purplish brown slicing size tomato. You can get them as starts from Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart. They're very, very popular. And I just recently read a tomato book by Craig LaHoyer. Forgive me, I don't know how to say his last name. Craig LaHoyer. Very, very well known in the tomato world, and he was part of the process of that tomato going from obscurity to becoming like one of the main tomatoes people think of when they think of gardening right now. So I, for $1, was like, okay, you know what? I just read the book. I have heard so many good things about the Cherokee Purple. Let's just try it out. And then 3 more things from M.I. Gardener, because like I said, for $1, come on. And if you spend $12, you got free shipping. So I got another pack of Rainbow Swiss chard, which is kind of hilarious because I've gone through almost a pack of Swiss chard and haven't harvested any because I have some out there right now, but I've not been fertilizing that area. It's very neglected. Last year I had some, and it didn't make it through the winter because we had a terrible cold snap. So I was already out of seeds almost, and they're just so pretty. So maybe I'll like them when I actually do harvest them and eat them. And then I got a watermelon called the Crimson Sweet Watermelon. This is another one of those where I was tired of hearing about it, and I was like, let's just try it out. And I've got a ton of melons going right now, but I've never grown Crimson Sweet. The last thing I got is arugula slow bolt. I grow arugula already, but it's like a wild rocket variety. If you don't know, some parts of the world call arugula rocket. When I was able to visit New Zealand with my family as a child, I was surprised to see a rocket on the menu, and then you figure out, oh, that's arugula. And so now I've got the slow bolt arugula to play with. Here in the South, it does get hot quickly in the spring, and the falls are hot. So arugula grows really well, but once it bolts, at some point it really does turn bitter. So if I could just have a slower bolting version, I think it will be better. So thank you for watching my seed haul. It has been really fun to get back in front of the camera. I had to take over a month off because I was barely in the garden last month. My hip gave out, kind of. So I was not walking much, and so the garden just kind of struggled through. But now my hip's better, so I'm back out there, and I'm glad to be regrouping on my seeds since I've been putting seeds all over the place, needed some more. If you want to see any of my other seed haul videos, I have a whole playlist, especially if this is something you enjoy. Check out my other seed haul videos. If you haven't, please consider subscribing and liking this video. And otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day.